The High Republic Adventures by Daniel Jose Older premiered its first issue last week. I've been very interested to see what this series would be like. The IDW Adventures line has always been targeted at a much younger audience than myself. While some of its series have really worked for me, like the Vader's Castle run by Kevin Scott or the Clone Wars Battle Tales by Michael Morisi, usually I just read them and I'm like, yeah, okay, and I move on. But just like every other High Republic story so far, this first issue really impressed me. I think what it comes down to is the fact that it appears to be telling an ongoing story. Most of the Star Wars Adventures comics in the past have been split in half to tell two unrelated tales, just fun little Star Wars romps for a younger audience. The two series I mentioned before landed for me because it gave me time to connect with its characters over the months and get invested in what was happening. It looks like the High Republic Adventures is going to take that further and keep that style going for more than just 5 issues. We're introduced to characters that I think are going to stick around, and right off the bat I found myself thinking that this is maybe the best Adventures comic I've read. The story surrounding the two main characters gave me chills as they already started to overcome some of their insecurities and fears. The comic revolves around the Triment system, which experiences a hyperspace occurrence just like the Hetzel system in Light of the Jedi. Yoda's Jedi teaching vessel is the only Republic ship nearby, so he takes his Padawans to help. It's basically like the Great Disaster but on a smaller scale, which makes perfect sense, because this is meant to be more accessible to younger readers. Our main characters are Padawan Lula Talisola and a Force-sensitive citizen of Triment 4 named Zine Marala. Lula has to work to overcome the feeling that she just isn't ready for a mission like this. Meanwhile, Zine has to work to overcome a need to hide her Force sensitivity and who she really is. Both of those are themes someone in, say, middle school can definitely relate to. The fear of growing up and taking on more responsibility, and the fear of being true to yourself and not hiding what makes you, you. I thought that was all handled really well, and again, watching Lula and Zine triumph over their fears gave me a swell of emotion. On top of the hyperspace debris, as if that weren't enough peril, the Nihil show up and attempt to kidnap or evacuate an elder of the planet. It's kind of unclear what their goal is, so I like this little mystery that's been set up, and I like that we're just diving right into having them as a present threat in this story. Even Marchion Ro shows up at the end, which raises the stakes and the danger more than I thought a series like this would. We end on a cliffhanger for our Padawan heroes surrounded by enemies, and I'm looking forward to seeing how they escape. Will they save themselves, or will Yoda and Master Torben Buck swoop in? And by the way, I'm really interested to know how Torben Buck, who literally has the nickname Buckets of Blood, is going to play into a story aimed at kids. How did he get that nickname? Are the Jedi okay with it? It doesn't feel like a very Jedi nickname to have. But we'll have to wait and see for all that. I'm not expecting I'll cover every issue of the High Republic Adventures, but I wanted to at least give my impressions of its start. And so far, I'm into it. I think it was a good Star Wars comic, and not just good for the Adventures line. If you've read the issue, I'd love to read what you thought of it in the comments. If you haven't already, please like this video, subscribe to the channel to keep up with all of our High Republic coverage, follow us on Twitch, Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook, and consider checking out our Patreon page. As always, thanks for watching, and may the Force be with you.